We hear an awful lot about the dangers of texting while driving, and not just kids. I know some of you out there do it too, but a new survey reveals there are a lot of other distractions that we fall prey to behind the wheel, and they could be just as dangerous. For men, it may be checking out other drivers, even reading the newspaper. This is according to the men themselves. And some women say they like to apply mascara using the rearview mirror. They're all no-nos. John Sternal is a spokesperson from LeaseTrader.com. That's the group that conducted this new survey. And on the phone, Lon Anderson, spokesperson for AAA Mid-Atlantic. Good to see both of you.
Thank you. Good to be here, Jamie.
Lon, first
Thank you for having us.
Great to have you with us. Lon, let me ask you first about what the biggest concern the AAA has beyond text messaging, and how dangerous are some of these other things like reading the newspaper, putting on makeup in the rearview mirror, and checking out the people driving next to you?
Well, that all falls under the rubric of distracted driving, and what we know is that distracted driving is enormously dangerous and contributes to over 100,000 crashes a year in America. So, you know, no matter what the distraction is, when you're behind the wheel, you really need to be focused on driving. It's no time to be multitasking. Driving actually is a very complex set of activities that is multitasking in itself.
Okay, John, let me ask you about the survey. First of all, why did you do it? And were you surprised by any of the results? I was surprised that men said shaving was a distraction. I think they should know better than to do that behind the wheel. And also interesting to me is the navigation as one of the distractions, because is it that the navigation systems in cars that are distracting?
Well, we did this survey for a number of reasons, and first and foremost, you know, we know that texting while driving is certainly a very big danger, and it can be an enormous distraction. But really, anything with a cell phone device while you're driving can be a huge distraction. But when you're talking about other technologies like GPS, or even when it's non-technological like shaving or reading the paper, you know, it's really about taking your focus away from the task at hand, and that's making sure that you're safely driving or operating that automotive vehicle.
Now, this week there was legislation, and there's tons of talk on Capitol Hill about texting, but also federal employees now banned from texting while driving. What do we need to do, John, after doing this survey, do you think, to get this under control and make our roads safer?
I think it's all about making sure that we're raising as much awareness as possible, and that people know that it's no easy task getting behind that wheel and operating a vehicle. Even for some of us who have been doing it for what, 20, 30, 40 years, it may seem like, oh, it's like riding a bicycle. You know, I know how to do it. I don't have to pay attention that closely. But even if you're not, or even if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, there's other people around you that are also driving their vehicles, and if one of those drivers is doing something inaccurate, that can affect your driving. So
you're at risk.
Trying to raise as much awareness as possible.
Let me get Lon in here. Lon, I only have 10 seconds, but is there information on AAA's website about how to prevent these distractions?
Absolutely. AAA.com. We have lots of information on distracted driving.
Okay,
there.
I would ask everyone to have a peek. Certainly talk to your kids, but don't make the mistakes we've talked about. And Kelly, even if you're racing to a live shot, you can do the makeup when you get there. Thanks so much for being with us today. I'm Jamie Colby.
The Journal editorial report is up next.
I gotcha.
You got me.
Bye-bye, everybody.